they were.
ran out of milk. They had to go to the store and get some more milk. Okay. Hey.
I'll remember this.
He doesn't give me a
I was actually surprised. I just learned that maybe like 3 weeks ago. I just assumed. And they thought it was just
Wasn't
all
Vicky with
set
it?
up. And
Juanita? I always called her Mrs.
just getting the water there, and that's always
That doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, yeah.
you know, colder than,
They got a.
Ask, when you talk to her, ask her what her first name was. Are you gonna mention anything about Joe?
I can.
We were just talking about that.
So, that ends tomorrow, right?
Yep.
3% higher on, you can't beat that on 750,000.
What?
That you know.
Most of them have glasses.
Just pick your turn. New one.
See blues and reds and greens.
So how do you pull it? Wait till the wind blows. Bam. Bring it right round.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna see me later.
So then glasses.
It's a little,
Okay.
it's a little game, but hey, it works, right? That's right.
That's you?
That was Gene. Mine's off.
Oh,
He is partying.
He was jamming.
I have 6 PM. Do you guys? You ready this way? This way? All righty. I'll call the meeting to order. If you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We're gonna have a moment of silent reflection, and a lot of stuff's been going on, and we've lost some people. And I know Chief's gonna mention something shortly about a ceremony coming up, so we'll just take a moment here. Sorry. Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Trustee Burt. Present. Trustee Todd Lloyd.
Present.
Supervisor Miller.
Here.
Treasurer Clee.
Present.
Trustee Leverett.
Present.
Trustee McIntyre.
Here.
And Clerk Triplett here. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda?
Don't see any.
Alrighty, we move on to any corrections of the minutes from the July 21st meeting. Are there any corrections?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Alrighty. Move on to public comment. If you'd like to address the board, I'd ask that you'd come to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to address the board. Can you speak? You can. Nobody wants to speak? Alrighty, if nobody wants to speak, last chance, we'll move on from public comment. We'll go to reports. I am going to be doing a few things this week, but I'm not going to report on them tonight because other people are. I'm just going to ask that as we go to do cleanups or we have the road commission do work for us, we have our code enforcers picking up trash. Apparently there was someone dumped trash from an apartment complex. I want to talk to you about that too, Chief. At the end of Vivian Trail, and actually we've got their personal information. So anyway, I drive up and down the streets and I'll see trash here, there, everywhere. There's a lot being left behind at the MTA bus stops. There's trash right up on Linden Road. There's not even a bench. Someone was standing there. There's a garbage bag full of garbage. We're trying our best. We don't have a DPW in this township. We rely on the road commission to help with maintain the roads, and we rely on the drain commission for our maintenance on our sewer and water lines. And we put a little bit of money toward road repair every year, just like $300,000 worth. Other than that, we have a lot of volunteers who do work. And when they're big projects like last week, was it, Trustee Vert? Somebody decided they're gonna dump all their garbage, or maybe a lot of people did. There was roofing material there at the end of Mitson, which is where the canoe landing is. And so a couple of selfish people ruin it for everybody who wants to enjoy that. So we did pay to have that picked up because it was a lot of money. I mean, a lot of trash, which probably cost a lot of money. But anyway, I know Mr. Leverett, Trustee Leverett, likes to remind people to please pick up the grass clippings after you mowed. And I remind people to clean the catch basins that are in front of their house so that the water will flow away from their house. And as far as trash, if you see something, if you're able to, please lend a hand and pick it up so we can keep our community beautiful. There's just a lot of trash out there we're working on. I'm going to be getting hold of MDOT to talk to them about putting a sign on the entryway. I think the largest amount of trash, debris, whatever, is at the on-ramp at Corona Road getting on I-75 South. I don't know why it's such a magnet to trash, but there is a ton of trash. We have a company, the DDA pays thousands of dollars every year to mow those ramps and pick up the trash. They can be there one day and it looks great, and the next day it looks like they weren't there. And other than asking people, let's pitch in and try and clean up trash if you are able to. You're not supposed to litter, that's against the law. But it's happening here in Flint Township. So I'm just asking people to be mindful of what's around them, and even if you didn't do it, if you're able to help, we'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, do you have a report for us this evening?
Just to kind of piggyback on what the supervisor had mentioned, we are noticing a lot more trash and debris. I'm noticing a lot when people are standing like by the Sam's and asking for donations or to give money. It's like they're leaving their bags and baskets and everything there. So as a community, we got to really band together and just kind of keep an eye on those kind of things, and you know, because we want it to look nice, we want it to look inviting so that others will come, you know, to our community. So.
And just to put it out there, people have the right to free speech, and they can stand on a corner and say whatever they want. They don't have the right to impede traffic. They cannot be in the street getting money from somebody in a vehicle. So if you see that, please feel free to call 911 and say it's a non-emergency and let them know what you've seen. They'll ask you for a description of the person, because I've seen an uptick in panhandling lately too.
Yeah.
They'll ask you for a description, a location, your phone number, and if you're willing to give it to them. And our police department, if they're not on a priority call, will try and make their way out there and deal with the situation. So thanks for that. Mr. Treasurer, do you have a report for us this evening?
Financially, we're going to, we've been respectfully contacted by a couple of folks that we do have CDs with, and I've got 3 of the papers in front of me today on renewals, and I will be doing a little change with that. I'll be doing a little change with these as I've been following and babysitting these per 2 conversations Kevin and I had today with a couple of folks, and we're going to be moving some money again and then moving it back to another area. So that's 1. 2, to tie in with what you 2 were just talking about, I got 2 phone calls on Saturday from one on Tandy and one on Keith of kids on Segways, not like a Segway, the roller wheel
Electric
thing
bike?
that you balance on.
Hoverboard?
Well, yeah, with the centerpiece on. Alivam, they try, ALIVAM or IBM, knocking on doors and telling folks that they can help them with their consumers or their gas and or their electric, that they need to contact these folks. And 2 of the people, both of them have stickers that say no solicitation. So remember, guys, if Nobody can do that. We have not passed, anybody on this board has given a solicitation permit, and they're knocking on doors that folks have no solicitors on it. So, as chief, you stated, and we talked about, pick up the phone and dial 911 and ask them to please send a cruiser if available. It's just, and it's warm, and they're out there, and guys, we all can ask them respectfully, hey guys, you can't be here because there are no permits issued. So they're out there in your neighborhoods. Keep an eye out.
Alrighty, any trustee reports? Mr. LeBrun?
Well, first, I thank God for being here. I noticed that the top of the conversation have been on trash. But I've been advocating for the longest that we turn our attention to Flint Township having curb appeal. And the only way I think that we can do that is everybody come on board as we've been talking today. The most of it is when people do things, I've seen people come up to the speedway, go in and get one of those ice drinks or whatever, come out and put the new one in the console and take the old one out and set it on the ground and drive off. So when we see those kind of things that's happening, we got to recognize some of these people that I've noticed that do something like this lives in Flint Township. And we know we get visitors and everything else, but nevertheless, we got to pay attention to our own and make sure that these kind of things that don't happen. We need to talk to these businesses and make sure that if in the event that it didn't happen, you can't just be in the business and having this business here and seeing this here kind of a thing, sending cups and paper and stuff all over. When I first come in Flint Township, I used to see the people at Speedway, the people that work there, come out and clean those gas pumps off and make sure all the paper and everything, the parking lot was clean and everything. But now it looked like, I don't know, the work ethics then went down or something then happened. But we need to at least pay attention to those kind of things. We have a great interest in Flint Township being here, and I hope that everybody looks at trying to keep our dollars and cents in Flint Township for growth purposes. So we all need to talk with our business people and talk with our residents and neighbors about all of the things that we advocate from the board. I know Barb Vert has been doing a tremendous job at doing what she do. I'm not always available, but it's a great job, and it's a tiring job to just see people continually doing the same thing over and over. And for this last thing, I was riding down Beecher Road Saturday, I think it was, and I noticed that it's 3 mattresses. I was talking to the code enforcement officer. I brought it to their attention today as well. But 3 mattresses laying, a mattress, these just don't blow off people's cars or trucks. So we gotta pay attention to that kind of thing. It's really bad, but we know that we're interested in curb appeal. So let's tune in and stay abreast. That's all I have for now.
This way, do we have any reports this way? Tanisha? Jenna?
Just 2 really quick things. I know that Chief Langler is going to talk about these a little bit more, but I'm really looking forward to National Night Out. It was really nice last year, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. And then also, I know we've been talking a lot about trash and the cleanup, and so I'm really looking forward to that this Saturday. And I think you're going to talk a little bit more about that as well, but yeah.
Trustee Vert?
Yes, talking about blight. This weekend, I was out and about, and I keep seeing all these semis parked where they're not supposed to. So I pull up and toot my horn.
Be careful.
I do, and I just said, do you see that sign? I said, they rotate every hour. They will, it doesn't matter if you're in it, they'll haul it away. And whether or not that's true, one guy had air conditioning unit outside with a hose through, and he had blue lights inside. So they're doing that. They're selling food. There's people that sell furniture off Fenton Road. They've been doing that forever. The lady who was panhandling at Target, I did stop and talk to her. She says she got a ticket from the police because the car that went by her backed up to give her money. She goes, didn't give him a ticket, gave me a ticket, which I thought was funny, to be quite honest. But I have these cards that say, I don't know, 211, it's to get help in that. And I told her, I said, they're hiring at Target, you should go in and apply for a job. So, but blight is terrible in this township. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's terrible. And I think every business should be responsible for their own property inside and out. They should tell whoever they hire to mow, pick up the trash before you mow it. I have personally gone into some businesses and I've asked them that, and it's gone nowhere. So I don't know how we address that part of it. But these safe street, clean streets, safe streets, if you hear those words, that's just what it means. A community full of blight has crime. That's just the way it is. So, this coming Saturday, whoever wants to come out in 90-degree weather, I've been looking at it, from 10 to 1, we're gonna meet at the senior center. We're gonna go through the community and pick up more trash.
August 9th
August 9th,
at 10 a.m.
10 to 1. I
Okay.
hope it's a little cooler.
at the senior center on Graham Road.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll have sunscreen and bug spray, okay?
And refreshments.
Is that right?
Yeah,
And pizza.
and some cold water.
Yes, lots of cold water.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
I know Mark and I were talking before the meeting, and he wanted me to let the trustees know that that grass you saw over there at Genesee Valley Center has been mowed down. Would it take them 5 hours today?
He was just finishing up, and he had been there at 3:30, he had been there since 10 o'clock.
And they're coming back tomorrow for the landscape. Alrighty, well,
Boy, I talked to him this morning.
Do some trimming, so,
Yeah.
but
He-
it looked really nice, I was surprised. But we had to go there and mow it for them, so it wasn't the mall that went there, it was us that went there, so.
thank you, Mark.
Just because, I was gonna say, this morning when I went there, the guy had started pulling the weeds, which was really wonderful, and I talked to him, and he said, I asked him about the mowing, and he said that, because of who owns the mall, the company won't come back.
Because it has to do with paying them, right?
But he started pulling the weeds. I said I may come help him. But it looks wonderful, at least on the one side.
So our process after we send a notice of violation is they get 10 days, and then it gets put on our list of lawns to mow, and when we mow it, and that's going to take a lot of money, it goes on the tax bill. So they'll end up paying it one way or another. Anyhow, we'll move on to staff reports. Mrs. Tucker?
I did give you a written report just so you can kind of go through it. It's an overall report of all the projects that are going on in the community right now. Projects that have been completed, projects that are under construction or plan review, projects that have approved site plans that we're waiting on the construction drawings, the ones that we're awaiting site plans on that have approved special land use. Planning Commission does have a meeting next week. The things on the agenda are the compatible renewable energy ordinance, the rezoning of the Myrtle Grove property, the auto service repair in the old Burns Welding building over here. There's a trucking company that wants to go on Flushing Road. And then an amended site plan for the warehousing on Elms Road. They finally got their approval from the county on the site plan that we approved 2.5 years ago. So they have to come and get the amended site plan approved. So those are all on for the meeting next week. And then the projects that we haven't received anything on paper. And then the projects I'm working on that are non-property related. And then the grants, and then the investment. Oh, it looks like third page didn't print, but I'll get that to you as well. But this is just so you guys kind of have an idea of what's going on. Some of these I've helped with, some of them I haven't, but it gives you an overall view of what's going on in the business community.
That's not on the table. Did you?
It's
on the
connected
last
to
page.
your.
It's underneath. It's
It's
It's on the
connected
last
to your
page,
packet. I put
next
it
to
in
the
the
last
back.
page.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I missed it.
Then also, National Night Out, the marketing stuff is all done. Sergeant Donovan went with me this morning to Cars 108. He did an interview with them. He did a great job. Last week, Lieutenant Van Lente went with me to do an interview with Johnny Burke at the Fox. So I think all the ads are still running on both those stations, and we're looking forward to the event tomorrow night.
Thank you. Chief Wangler?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. Over the past 2 weeks, the police department has responded to 1,127 total calls. This figure is 727 primary calls, 400 backup calls for service. So the math on this, on average during the 2-week period, is over 80 total calls per day. And just to illustrate this a bit further, we had 17 12-hour shifts where a single officer took 15 or more calls during one of those days. And then, as has been highlighted previously, it's a final reminder for National Night Out tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. This is held at the front lawn of our police station, 5200 Norco Drive. Again, as the ads have stated, this is a totally free event. We will have bicycle giveaways, bounce houses, and hot dogs and chips. And as you had previously said, Madam Supervisor, at the last meeting you had announced Flint Township Civil Service President Don Rockwell passed away on July 17th. I had seen his obituary posted this afternoon. The memorial service would be held at noon, with the visitation beginning at 10:30 at First Presbyterian Church. The service will then begin at noon. Again, if anybody doesn't know where First Pres is, that's at 746 South Saginaw in the city of Flint. Sharp Funeral Homes is where the funeral visitation will be held the day before, Thursday, August 24th, from 2 to 4, and then from 5 to 8. Again, that's on Thursday, with the funeral on Friday. Next week, Thursday and Friday. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, putting that in here. Hold on. Assistant Chief Raleigh, do you have a report for us this evening?
Yes, ma'am, just a brief one. My apologies for being tardy, had a last-minute call. Since the last board meeting, fire department was dispatched to 61 calls for service, which equaled 126 apparatus responses. In that were 6 structure fires. The fire department's actively looking for on-call firefighters. If anyone knows anyone over the age of 18, graduated high school, interested in giving back to the community, serving their community, we're always looking to hire on-call firefighters. They can go to our website and print off applications online. They can come see me at Station 1, 5331 Reuben Street, and I can get them an application there as well. The next fire academy starts beginning of October, so if anyone knows any younger ladies or gentlemen that are interested, please let them know. There's a great opportunity to give back to the community. End of the report.
I heard the word younger. What's the maximum age?
Careful. Careful out there.
If you can pass our physical agility test.
Thank you. Thanks for that report. We don't have a committee report? Yeah. Sure. Here comes a committee report from the Road Advisory Committee. Thanks, John.
I don't have anything, excuse me, I don't have anything written down, but I can give it from the top of my head. We had a meeting this past week. The road advisory had decided not to have meetings June and July and August, but if something came up, which something did. Mike Pfeiffer needed some direction from the committee. We had, when we brought the proposal to the board, we had Northway, Southway, and Westway on the plan with the idea if we didn't have funds, we would decide to drop that off, and that was decided at the last meeting. The other issue that came up was there was a resident on Staunton. He didn't feel spot repair was what they wanted. He said he was sure he had half the residents plus that would agree to do a SAD on that road and repair it, you know, like they do with a SAD. So we as a committee had to decide what to do because Mike Pfeiffer's estimates was about $60,000 of spot repairs on there, and it seemed foolish to spend the $60,000 on spot repairs if this resident does get his SAD. So the committee debated for a while. We decided through a vote that we would take stunt off of this year's plan. And all the other roads, the repair totals came in higher than what Mike had expected. So we can still do the spot repairs that we have, and the plan was to take Staunton off this year. And if the SAD, he can't get it, we would revisit that next year and put Staunton spot repairs back on next year's plan, along with try to get Westway, Southway, Northway done. One of the issues you have to remember is the road commission says we have to spend all our $50 on the mainline roads next year. So if their estimates around $170,000 of 50/50 money, township has to put $170,000, 169 or 68, whatever it is, towards that. So that reduces what we can do in neighborhoods. But we're looking at what we can do next year, but we want to try to make sure we go back and fix Staunton if the SAD fails. So that's what we decided this past week. If you hear anything from residents saying, why did you take this road out of the plan? This is why, because we got to still fit in our budget. Bottom line is we just needed more money in Flint Township for roads, which I don't think anybody's interested in increasing taxes for road repair, but that's my report.
Thank you, John. Alrighty, I think we're done with reports. We'll move on to number 9, Mr. Treasurer, payment of the bills.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I was looking up something for our clerk. Pardon me, I got something in my throat and I can't kill it. All right, I had to open my stuff back up. You hear me all right? What's wrong? There you go. All right, I have a motion to approve the payment of the invoices, the amount of $58,521.52, with acknowledgement that the payment of the invoices and the tax distributions in the amount of $2,114,867.46, as authorized by the board's purchasing policy. And that is my motion to pay both of those.
Is there a second to the motion? Anybody want to make a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Leverett. We have a motion and a second to pay the bills in the amount of $58,521.52. Is there a second, any other discussion or questions for Mr. Treasurer? None? All righty, I'll ask the Madam Clerk to do the roll call vote on paying the bills in the amount of $58,521.52.
Clerk Triplett, yes. Trustee Leverett.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yes.
Treasurer Clee.
Yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes.
Trustee Todd Lloyd.
Yes.
And Trustee Burt.
No.
Thank you. We go on to, is there any correspondence or informational items?
No, not this week.
Except informational, Tracy's got that report at the end. So new business, we have a proclamation for Mr. Burns. And he's not here, and we're going to read this proclamation.
Is Mr. Leverett taking care of that?
Okay.
You go right ahead.
I didn't know if he's got it in his hands.
Well, certainly, we thank God for this here opportunity. We're looking at this here proclamation, and I'm overjoyed that I'm getting the opportunity to read this proclamation, because certainly this young man, I'm going to say young man, but he's older than I am, Ed Burns. The proclamation reads as, it's in the name of the people of the Charter Township of Flint. It's a be it resolved, the Charter Township of Flint Board of Trustees would like to express our appreciation and gratitude to Edward Burns. It's a whereas Ed Burns has been a resident of Flint Township for over 35 years, and whereas Ed Burns served as a member of the Flint Township Economic Development Corporation for 30 years and the West Side Business Association. And whereas Ed Burns also served as a code enforcement officer, and whereas Edward Burns is a respected member of the Flint Township community. It said, now therefore, the Flint Township Trustee Board, on behalf of the staff and residents, does hereby issue the proclamation to honor Edward Burns. It's and we recognize his time and dedication to the community and to the residents of the Charter Township of Flint on this day, 4th day of August, 2025. And we would like to recognize all of the signatures from the supervisor and the trustees. We're presenting this here proclamation. And I would like to add, as I said when I started out, I think it's an honor that I'm getting the opportunity to present this here proclamation, because Ed Burns was truly my mentor for the township effort of where I am today with the township as a trustee. He's been a member in my life for over about 45 years. He's a elder at our church, and he's definitely been a mentor to me as well, because that's how I started taking part of being a member of the West Side Business Association, being involved with the township business, and all of those things. And he's definitely been an inspiration in my life, and I appreciate all of the contributions that he have presented in my life and the life he has lived. He's not here tonight because he's been incapacitated somewhat for quite some time. I talked with his wife, talked with him, and I thought it would be befitting that we present this proclamation because he's definitely been an addition to the Flint Township. But we appreciate you, and thank God for the board making this here proclamation happen. Thank you.
All those in favor of approving the proclamation signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That stands approved. We have the announcement of our next meeting for August 18th here at 6 p.m. And if there's no further business, without objection, we'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. And as well,
I thank God that he's supposed to be watching this meeting. Thank you.